Yes, boys and girls. Good morning. How we doing? How we doing? We're doing some restocking first thing. Loads of restocking to get done. I'm God flipping hell. The amount of profession tools I've been crafting the last few days is disgusting. We did some skinning yesterday. I need to restock my crafters today. Or sorry, not restock my crafters, restock my sellers with crafted stuff, which is what we're up to now. Some of you, go. Off to the races. How are we all doing though, boys and girls? Are we good? I was half not planning on streaming today, but I realised I'm going to be sat here playing the game for a good few hours anyway, so there's absolutely no reason to not throw the stream up. I was going to do a nice little video talking about the TSM groups and stuff, but I haven't quite finished them yet. There's still a few things I want to get done. I mean, it's only the season launch tomorrow. It's only 2 weeks into the expansion. Loads of time to get TSM sorted. We'll get there. My gold in the my gold is going up and down like an absolute flipping yo-yo right now. It's kind of gross. Believe it or not, I'm actually starting to feel the squeeze of having cash flow issues. I'm crafting so much, distributing so much across so many different realms. The upfront cost of production is a bit spicy. I think I spent the best part of nearly 20 million yesterday. We don't want to be doing that every day, but it's you know, it'll pay off long term. That's the plan. That's the plan. We need to keep doing our skinning. We need to level up some more skinners. Make sure we have a bit of a backup plan for if everything goes horribly wrong. But relatively chill day. Bit of crafting. Gonson, is that you? No, it's fine. We're I do need to take it a little bit easy today and not talk for 4 hours straight, as I will absolutely blow my voice out completely before the season even starts. Oh, I also need to be careful and not crash my warbank. Give that a second. I clicked too fast. We're good. Right, now we have some stuff to distribute. Which of my accounts needs some more? Probably this one. Yeah, I was half planning on not streaming today. I got a couple of YouTube videos I kind of want to get done, but I'm more in the mindset of stream comes first these days. It's a bit of a switch to what it used to be, but I like it. Hey, speak of the devil, there's Mr. Goldson. Welcome in nice and early, my man. Appreciate it. Good morning. Let's get the undercuts out the way. Let's grab the bonus goodies. Yeah, I'm genuinely struggling to keep up with the restocking, to be honest. So I need to put a little bit more focus into this today. 5 million Majestics. Pray for us, Goldson. Oh, dear Lord. There was another interesting post on the subreddit I spotted about people starting to get real snarky. People starting to get really annoyed by people just lurking at the majestic beasts, not putting down the lure themselves. It's causing a little bit of animosity for some skinners, it appears. The game's the game, yo. Game's the game. I mean, it's the the age-old rule. You can't beat them, join them. Like, if nobody puts a lure down, then nobody gets any Majestics. If you're gonna be all up in arms, all weird about somebody coming along and skinning your Majestic beast, then don't put the lure down yourself. Can't beat them, join them. But yeah, people are funny. People are funny. Right, here's to hoping though that the login servers were being a bit weird about an hour ago. Randomly kicking me out for no apparent reason. Yo, Kahani with the 100 stream streak. Holy. I don't think anybody's hit 3 figures before. Oh, excuse me. My voice is already fucked this morning. It's this spring weather, you know. Flipping up. We're back to winter. I knew where I stood with winter. Ever happy. Had over 100 before a random weekend stream. Oh, sorry. Sorry. There is some ways to, if you watch the VOD for like 5 minutes of a stream that you miss, it does maintain the stream streak, I believe. There is some flexibility in it. But I appreciate the effort, boys and girls. It's kind of pretty ridiculous. Some of you are here more than I am. In and of itself is kind of crazy. I also need to do this on one account at a time right now so that it balances out my gold. Because I've got such a ridiculous rotation of funds going on at the moment. It's kind of crazy. It's weirdly fun though. It's very similar in concept to flipping. Very similar in concept to cancel scanning, just without the stress of. Oh, I don't know. It's just as what I do is just as repetitive as cancel scanning, but it doesn't feel anywhere near as gross. Don't know what the I don't know what the logic and the psychology is behind that, but there's something in it for sure. Why do I feel? Yeah, I thought something was off with that. Thought my mailbox was surprisingly empty there. Yeah, puppies are chilling already this morning. Solo's in the main house. We're kind of slowly building a slightly different routine. The puppies are getting really into their teenage phase. They're like, what are they? They're nearly 9 months old. Kind of meaning that they just don't chill the fuck out ever, right? And this, it causes problems because one of them gets tired and then tries to go and chill out, and the other one is not tired yet, and they just keep each other in this permanent stasis of just like craze. So we we've had to kind of develop a bit of a routine that Sular stays with Mrs. Manthias during the days, and I have the girls, and they get their playtime. Yeah, perma-zoomy stage, literally. We were kind of warned. We were kind of warned by the, what do you call them, the breeder, the person who had the litter of puppies. We were kind of forewarned that having 2 from the same litter can be absolute. It's both wonderful that they entertain themselves. It takes a lot of the weight off yourself of like entertaining them. But it comes with the kiss curse of that is it comes with the fact that they just are permanently crazy for a while. and there's basically nothing you can do about it apart from just separate them so that they chill out, which does feel like that's the stage they're in right now. Does mean at flipping 6 o'clock in the morning when one of them wakes up, the entire house is awake. It's like, it's done. No lions are being had at the moment. Why did you have to have twins? Well, this is the thing, right? People have twins and they don't choose it. That's like Mother Nature doing its thing. I got one dog, and then because I'm a sucker, I was like, yeah, sure, we'll take the other one if he still needs a home. Fuck. I'm too soft. Really. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, there's such thing as the crazy cat lady, but I think I'm already. I think I already qualify as the crazy dog man. I think I've fully claimed that title now. Alan was cute as hell, and the moment you shared that picture of Solo, we knew how it would end. Yeah, exactly. This is it. Like, just a sucker. It was always going to happen. Right, what's the war bank total at? 1.8 mil. That's really disgustingly low. Yeah, I mean, I like to believe it's the right thing to do. I was kind of sold a bit of a sob story, Sulla, but it's fine. I love him to bits. And I can confirm his deballing has been a success. He's fully himself again now. Post operation, he doesn't know any different. Not from his point of view. Wow, yeah, he is forever different, but in a way that he, will not understand. Have decided Blizzard needs a bigger war bank. Blizzard needs a bigger war bank. It's not big enough. The fact that I'm partially using it to store some basic materials and using it for like realm distribution just because it's quicker and easier than the guild bank right now. The guild bank is stupid because it puts all the item level to the base level and it's just a pain. I need a bigger war bank. Blizz, give me more storage space. I already bought the 2.5 million gold tab and I still don't feel I have enough room. Goblin problems. Goblin problems. But are we looking forward to season launch tomorrow? Might actually get to play the game a little bit. There's a crazy thought. Might actually play the game a bit. We'll have some potential gearing to do. My main character is level 90 now. So we do have the possibility to do some end game stuff. Sell, make some space. Yeah, we're trying. Can you get majestic stuff from all 3 mobs on the same day? 3? 5? There's 5 majestic beasts, and yes, you can lure them and kill them and skin them all each day. Yes. 1 in each of the zones, and a second one in the Voidstorm. Arendar one's level 90 though, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass. The Grand one's in the Voidstorm as well. Today actually might be a day I take some of my skinners and see if there's any extracurricular needs doing to to maybe get them their weekly skinning points just to keep them pushing forward. I'm thinking that the way I do the skinning is probably best if one of my 4 characters is the Grand Beast Lure character. They put all of their points into, they put their 40 points into the first node, and all of the other ones, they just put all of their points into the Majestic. So one dude is going to be, one of the 4 accounts will be responsible for luring the beasts. The other accounts will be then just stacking the chances of getting as many Majestics as possible. And eventually they'll maybe possibly all end up with the same points and all have the same ability. But let's see how persistent I am with it. How often do you cancel scan the tools on the servers? I don't really. I don't do just a dedicated cancel scan. I do a quick cancel scan when I'm doing something else. So like right now when I'm restocking some of the green tools, it makes, if I'm logging onto a character, 50% of the time is actually load screens. So it makes sense to do just a quick cancel scan there, but I'm never going out of my way to specifically do just a cancel scan. Because that's just, wasted time in my opinion. Time that could be spent redistributing stock, time that could be spent crafting more. The entire concept for me about doing it, like going wide, is so that I don't have to worry about the individual realms. If people want to cancel scan on their own realms for stuff, then that's absolutely fine. If by cancel scanning people crush the price down, then it's easy. I just pull my stock from that server and move it somewhere else. I don't care. I'm not about that game. I'm not about that game at all. How wide are you already? Oh, every realm, every EU realm, all 80-ish realms. But that's not to say that doing it my way is any better. It's just different. I have the characters, I have it all set up. There's seemingly no reason not to use it. The issue more than anything, though, is the upfront stocking cost. If I want to put 300,000 gold worth of items on a realm, I need to cover the cost of that up front before stuff sells, I also then need to make enough profit quick enough to cover the cost of the stuff that then doesn't sell very quickly. It's the wider you go, the riskier it does become in that regard, but I don't mind too much. Want to migrate from this cursed Hungarian infested server, but it costs too much. Your home doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't. Genuinely doesn't matter. I mean, my home is Draenor. Yet I don't contribute that much to the Draenor economy because I often find that everything on Draenor is far too cheap for me to bother. I couldn't tell you what my most profitable realms are now. My auctioning operations just deal with all of that. Ragnaros server. Same, surprisingly, Argent Dawn's even cheaper. Yeah, Argent Dawn is also often very cheap for certain things. Very, very cheap. I mean, the big servers always are. The big servers is where the most people play, the most competition lies, the most ludicrous strategies are put into action. Whether they work or whether they don't work is questionable, but Doesn't matter too much. I actually realized the other day when I was remaking a bunch of these characters that I've actually got some duplicates. I've got a couple of characters on, like, there's 2 realms where I've got a character on them twice, which is something that slipped through the net. So I've actually got 21 teams of characters, which is 84 characters in total. So there's a couple of duplicates in the list somewhere, but it's an even multiple of 4, so it's fine. It's not a problem. I think it's some random Italian realm. I've accidentally got like 2 or 3 characters on somehow. I'm not quite sure how it happened, but I clearly didn't pay enough attention. Yeah, the what do you call them? The heraldries. Is that the word I'm looking for? Are not available until tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to do to the price of the recipes. Feels like it could be 6 of one, half dozen of another. Fun fact: there's a very strong possibility that top-end sweaty raiders are all going to be blasting PvP. Believe it or not. So there's a strong chance that we will see a bit of a flood on the supply of the PvP recipes as well. If they all start trying to blast PvP, it will make a bit of a difference. They're doing it for catalysts or catalyst charges or something, I've heard. Don't know the ins and outs. I've not looked into that area, that side of the game yet. Yeah, it's got something to do with catalyst charges and, you know, optimizing tier sets or something. Because the raid is staggered, you can't get all of your tier set quite as quickly as people would like it. So there's a cheesy way to do it via PvP or so. I don't know. Like I said, I read the basics. I don't know the details though. Two-handed weapons can be crafted tomorrow already. Yeah, people will get their second spark tomorrow. Sorry, their 4th spark. Because it takes 4 sparks for a two-handed weapon, doesn't it? I think that's how that works. I've not done any of that business. Literally nothing. It's weird, right? I have spent more time gold making at the start of this expansion than the War Within, I think. Even though the War Within had the shuffle. I don't really... maybe I just haven't played the game as much midnight as I did in the War Within. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know. I've spent a lot of time during Midnight's launch doing busy work, though. Setting up alts with crafting professions, setting up all of the skinners, remaking all of... I've done an unnecessary amount of busy work, I think, that I probably shouldn't have done. All of that time could have been spent, like, yeah, because I had 5 max level characters before the end of early access in the War Within. I have 2, and the season's about to start now. So I've played this game in a very different way this time round. Nothing to cancel. Why has this realm got nothing on it? Is it far enough up the list to have just never got stock? Possibly. Wait, this doesn't feel as if it's pulling the right quantity Oh, sugary doodahs. Have I got all this way and realised my TSM profiles were wrong? Ow! Fudge McDuck. Okay. Well, that's annoying. I thought I had too much stuff in me bag still. I was meant to be putting 3 on every realm. Oh well. There's less excitement in Midnight, that is for sure. Yeah. I do think that the world content just hasn't grabbed me as much this time. I wonder if it's, the prey system. Prey system hasn't. My voice is absolutely blasted. Yeah, the prey system hasn't appealed to me particularly. It's an endgame grind. Delves, I don't even think I've gone and ran all of the delves because they're not new. They're not interesting anymore. What? Are you not enjoying abundance? I know. It's crazy, right? Yeah, this is maybe the problem. It just feels the same again. Even the crafting system it's I can understand where some of the negativity comes from because it's just the same again. I like the new delves. I don't like most of the new dungeons. I've ran probably each of the dungeons once, I think. Maybe twice, I'm not sure. But without thematic, well, yeah. Yeah, minus thematurgy. It's difficult to get overexcited when my preferred method of gameplay has just been, lessed. I've always greatly enjoyed a new season's, a new expansion's worth of professions, and quite frankly, they're just being less of everything. Every profession having less depth. I knew would push me to a position where I would feel, done with crafting very quickly. But the simplification has really bit me pretty hard. By this point, I would have probably been flipping spreadsheets and calculators and trying to do all sorts of clever stuff. But I didn't really feel the need to do any of that this time round. As I partly feel as if the game was solved before the game even launched, if that makes sense. Probably why I've weirdly got my teeth stuck into skinning farming and silly things. Stuff that you'd probably never expect me to be doing. What was the last expansion where I enjoyed the storyline and the world building? Only until about the middle of the expansion, then the devs turned it into a clown fiesta. I mean, they stopped, didn't they? They stopped to work on, they basically stopped about 9 months into the expansion, didn't they? From that point on, it was all about Legion. But I'm at least of the opinion that it was the right move. No, just write one off, basically. I have a distinct problem now that I'm not going to be able to refill my bank with enough stock. I'm scared for the next expansion after the last Titan, if the Dragonflight Midnight team is going to cook it or not. Well, I don't know if there's 2 teams particularly, but they're definitely alternating it. They're definitely flip-flopping from A team, B team sort of stuff. Definitely seems to be how it feels. Okay, how much space we got in the wall bank? 138 slots. Okay, that's enough, but not quite enough. Oh, we've got disconnects again. This was happening, or this was happening earlier. Not gonna log back on. But you are gonna log back on. Nice. Digging the tunes today. Appreciate it, Mr. Goldson. I'm it doesn't take much for me to get back into my EDM swing. It really doesn't. How many characters do you need to cover each realm? Well, there's about 80 different 80 different possible auction houses to hit. I think it's 82 to be precise. I can't remember the exact number. Oh, hang on. I need to check that this count isn't also making the same problem. This one's fine. 48 hours? Seems a bit steep. Sure. Chunk into my deposit fees a bit more, but whatever. Oh no, wait, hang on. We didn't shortfall to bags. What's all this lot then? Random guff. Go in the guild. That at the back end of the guild. This in the random guff section. Random rubbish that I need to do something with that I haven't done anything with yet. Manthe started it. It was pre-coffee Ranthius, that's what it was. My trade chat is saying that abundance is fixed. Oh, I couldn't care less about abundance. Like, every day it changes, so, like, give it some time and it will just, you know, it will fix itself. How we doing, Bikoto? Good morning. Welcome in, welcome in. 92 if you consider the Russian realms. Oh yeah, I don't consider those. Now it's great if you are multilingual enough to understand what's going on. I am not though. It's like looking at the Matrix for me. We're going to shitload with engineering through to disenchanting. 12 gold crafts into shards. Yeah, I mean, it's been... it's the reason why there is just an absolute mountain of enchanting materials right now, because engineering through to dust has been pretty profitable if you do the whole thing. There is some serious time related bottlenecks in it. I think that the crafting of the gear and then the disenchanting of the gear is very, very time consuming. The production of the milling is super quick. The recycling is probably not terrible, but then taking the evercores, making them into gear before then disenchanting it is and then potentially even shattering it as a third step of that process is pretty time intensive. But yeah, it's if you've got nothing better to do, it's profitable at least. Three crafters, two disenchanters. Yeah, if you cover all grounds, it's probably pretty good. I don't think it's two teams in particular. To my mind, they're still on the old 2 to 3 year dev cycle, but the higher ups demand an expansion per year. So devs just kind of build the ground every other year or so and then just adjust things until the next cycle of redesign comes. Well, historically, Blizzard were always working on at least two, if not three, expansions at a time. So I can't imagine any of that is changed. But yeah, I think they've just padded out the teams enough so that you have like, I think Ian's even used the phrases like the live team, for example. You know, there were people who build the basic, basic story blocks and whatever. And then there's the people that are like responsible for the 8-week patch cadence stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know how it's managed internally, but they'll clearly takes a lot of people. Did you craft all the tools or did you buy them cheap? For the moment, I'm actually crafting all of this stuff. Now, I know these are my realm flippers, but it's just as much effort to craft them as, in fact, it's probably less effort to craft them than than it is to try and buy them from somewhere and then redistribute them. So yeah, for the time being at least, they're all crafted. My I'm only dealing with stuff that I can craft in a sort of an optimal way as well, so keeping some control over the prices. Want to buy reverse shatter? What? Converting 3 dust into a crystal, and then 3 crystals into a 3 crystals into sorry, 3 shards into a crystal. I don't think you want that, do you, Goldson? Think how much the dawn crystals would be if you could take 3 shards and turn them into one. You'd be up Poop Creek, I think. The casual 60k on this realm. Of a theory that a shard to void crystal will happen, remember my words. For the most part, I think I think most things are relatively okay. I don't think we have a full-on tinderbox situation on our hands. I don't think, but I mean, if you think about the start of the war within, we didn't have a dust shatter to start with, which meant dust for season 1 was ludicrously expensive. You got to remember it was 11.0.7 or something. They added the crystal shatter as a way to bring down the ludicrous price of dust. But I'm not so sure there's anything that looks too ridiculously broken. You gotta be careful that you don't get too distracted by Goblin doing Goblin things, because it paints a false impression of what the actual demand of something is, or what the actual supply of something is. Soon as soon as soon as the Mythic Plus season spins up, and apparently something that I wasn't totally aware of, M0's become a daily lockout as of tomorrow. There'll be, hang on, what am I doing? We're not cancelling. There'll be far more crystals hitting the market due to that. And I don't see the price of Dark Moon trinkets really changing all that much. Meaning I'm relatively certain that the enchanting markets are alright. I don't think there's anything that's so broken that it's going to need a Blizzard step in and fix it kind of job. I suspect that petrified roots are going to become very, very widely available once the endgame content really kicks in. Especially if people are running M0s every day during Heroic Week. Those flipping tormented Tantalium things have ended up being basically free with all of everybody doing the prey system. I don't think there's any single material that's like really problematic. I actually think more than anything, some of the high quality herbs and ore look relatively risky, just on the basis of the fact that there's no quick and easy way to get a lot of them when a goblin comes along and decides to just clean out the market. Thaumaturgy was a fantastic balancer of all things, which without it will mean that I think people with deep pockets will be able to play silly games on reset day with the price of materials. Far more not risk free, but with less risk. Okay, we're running out of stuff now. Where I should have crafted some more. So much so, I think I actually quickly might. There's a black hole in the system now with void crystals. I mean, you can always just mass produce Dark Moon trinkets and delete those. Isn't that feels like that's the main source for the crystals in the first place, and that will only put strain on herbs. But once scribes get their shit together, they're basically turning like 50% rank 1 herb, rank 1 pigment, rank 1 herbs and 50% rank 2 herbs. So I don't think the tap for those is ever going to be switched off completely. I don't foresee crystals being too bad of a problem. I mean, the fact that we even have an epic item that can be disenchanted in the first place, even albeit being quite expensive, is better than what we've had some expansion launches. So I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's too bad. You think full purple profession equipment will be necessary to make profit at all? Was it just a min-max thing? I mean, eventually, it's all work. It will all work to that point. Yes. The additional stats that if you're doing mass crafting, the additional stats will be necessary. Yeah. But your profession is your tool, right? It's not the only thing you can do to ensure profit. A lot of emphasis is put on your profession. You know, people are basically looking at the profession as the entire puzzle. There's a lot more to the puzzle. I mean, before you even craft anything with your profession, you should be focusing on getting your materials as cheap as humanly possible. If more people focused more on getting their mats at the right price, they wouldn't have to worry about min-maxing their professions half as much. And on top of that, if people then also took a slightly more sophisticated strategy to selling stuff as well, they could probably squeeze out significantly more margin than an extra rank on your profession tools would ever do. But the reality is if you haven't got the optimum crafting profession, somebody else that does have the ultimate crafting profession probably has a leg up on you. So you do kind of need to make sure you keep it up to speed, which will unfortunately mean, yes, full epic tools might not be the defining thing that either makes or breaks a profitable profession, but it will have some effect. Increasing the need for 20 items per tool was the worst idea ever. That was a big fuck you. Well, the thing is that they I mean, I was also one that was saying that the fused vitality system was kind of pointless in its original phase, right? Needing one fused vitality that only cost 400 per epic tool meant that you did 3 dun-dun runs and you could get your full profession epicked up. That was also the other end of that was the other side of the pendulum swing level of ridiculous, right? There needed to be a middle ground there. The problem was, as they were utilizing a system that had clearly not been tested in any way, shape, or form. They put all of the emphasis, 40 times the amount of materials needed on a system that they hadn't tested. And still, 2 weeks into the expansion, they're hotfixing it every single day to even get it to a workable state. Like, that was where the real problem. I don't mind having to run a mini game for a while to get the best crafting gear. That mini game needs to be fun and needs to fucking work. You're going to give us Choregast 2.0 for crafting professions. At least make the damn thing work. Don't change it every single day. People have got no idea what the hell they're doing right now because it changes every day. Why, for the most part, I'm just not doing it. I do it on my 4 main crafters because whether I like it or not, I do everything on my main 4 crafters. But on my alts, flipping no chance, mate. No chance. Not happening. Midnight is not even close to a finished product, in my opinion. Well, I mean, yeah, they've clearly had to put emphasis. They've had to prioritize certain things, right? They know they physically cannot afford for the raids to be a flop. Like, the highest of highest priority always goes towards the raids, which in turn means there's a 80% effort goes into class balance in order to make sure that that end of the game, like, this is where the arguments of that Blizzard focuses on the 1% come from. But the reality is that's very, very, very important to the longevity of the game, right? Very, very, very important. They physically can't afford to fuck that shit up. Professions, on the other hand, like, I know a lot of us care about the professions deeply, but does the vast majority of the player base? Yeah, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. So it's nowhere near as high a priority to get right. Which means when an expansion launch is 2 weeks away and you can either do this that everybody cares about, or you could do that that only some people care about, what's the right business decision there? Right business decision is to do the thing that is most important, right? Okay, this realm actually got some stuff. Why do my curtains cost more semi-rare materials than an actual epic piece of gear that gives the players stats that helps them play the game? My curtains? Cause casuals buy tokens. I hate to tell you. Casuals buy tokens. Casuals probably buy more tokens than anybody else. If your primary activity is tinkering with player housing, if you've come from Elder Scrolls Online, Final Fantasy, The Sims, you've come from any of those games, you're very much used to spending a lot of money on cosmetics. Blizzard knows that. That's why they're milking you. Milking you. Real deck or endgame, yeah. Two, four, six Majestics. Go on. Stack those procs. Most of the richest people I see don't need any gear and they sit in Argent Dawn chat just being weird all day. It's really difficult to comprehend, right? It's really difficult to comprehend just how much money some people will spend within a video game given the choice. And it's never people like it. This is the thing. It's never the top end game 1% mythic plus kind of like ahead of the curve kind of players. They're the people that have played the game for a long time. They know the game inside out, and they, for the most part, probably have no reason to spend that much money on it. Um, because they're A, already good at the game, and B, they already get everything they want in the game by proxy of being good at the game. They don't really have that incentive outside of, just because they want to spend money on the game. That said, the more casual audience, cheeky 100k, the more casual an audience are often the ones that are willing to spend outrageous amounts of gold, e.g., money, in order to give the impression of them being good at the game. It's why people walk around in like, it's why people who live on council estates and claim dole money love a Louis Vuitton handbag. It's the same concept. It's exactly the same concept. It's the example I often like to give about this is when you see those mythic BOEs on the auction house for like hundreds of thousands of gold. Top end raiders are not the ones buying those, by the way. Not the top end raiders that are buying those. The people who are buying the mythic BOEs are people that basically run LFR and maybe pug the occasional normal. They do it to pad the meters and to, you know, feel big dick in a, you know, in an LFR raid. Because it's all, you know, most cosmetics fall into the category of like status symbols as well, so. Blizzard's just milking the people that want to look big and impressive and giving them the ability to give them money in order to do so. Blizzard has changed how you gather lumber. 80% of the lumber nodes are guarded by at least one mob. It's kind of hell of annoying to farm if your toon is not geared, but Midnight Decor sells like sugar, can't farm enough lumber. Don't even pick up herbs and ore anymore. I mean, this was true with regular lumber, wasn't it? That you are actually losing gold by picking up the herbs and the ore. Now, of course, with the value of a lot of like herbs and ore currently, there's still good reason to maybe pick them up. But yeah, it's if you've got a bunch of recipes, farming lumber is. I've been saying it since alpha. I've genuinely been saying it since alpha that lumber is what will make people millions of gold this expansion. Decor in general will make people millions and millions and millions of gold. Because it's new, it's shiny, nobody has min-maxed it yet, and there's a monstrous audience of people out there that, as we've just been discussing, will be willing to swipe their credit card to get it all. Humongous opportunity in Decor this expansion. Absolutely humongous. Top end raiders are the ones selling them, not buying them. Yeah, mythic because top end raiders don't need to buy mythic BOEs because they run mythic raids. They run top end mythic plus keys. They get the gear for free. Why the fuck would they buy it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Moo, welcome in. Good morning to you. Hope you're well. Besides, mythic BOEs are rarely BIS. Yeah, they're just, like I said, they're just bought by people to, like, pad the stats and top the meters in an LFR. It's all about appearance.
Let's make sweet, sweet profit together.
Yo, Mr. Goldson, thank you very much for the gift here. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm sure Moo also appreciates it. Thank you. Why do I feel... Yeah, you're gonna... Ooh, 57k for a needle set. Hello. Yoink. Nearly missed that mailbox of goodies. You kept saying this will be a farmer's expansion. Can you expand on that? Is it mainly for decor? The concept of it being a farmer's expansion is that it's not so much that farming will be super duper mega profitable. It's just that I don't really think that crafting is going to be that profitable. Yes, we're at we're in hype stage right now. It's the beginning of an expansion. Everything's crazy right now. This happens regardless. This is the opportunity where you can do some stuff, but look at how many people out there are really complaining and really struggling to find their avenue of profit with crafting. Yet you can fly around and you can make 20,000-30,000 gold an hour herbing and mining, literally with basically zero setup. This means the allure of doing anything other than farming materials is not going to be very high for very long. And it will basically mean that the way to produce steady, reliable gold will be more in the category of farming. On top of the fact that decor has turned up, you kind of need to farm the lumber before you craft with it, and then you need to go sell it. I really, really, really like the decor system. I love what Blizzard, like the decision to make lumber warbound was a very clever one. Very, very clever, because it forces people into being all-rounded goblins, basically. You have to get pretty good at farming to get a reasonable amount of lumber in any given time. You then have to figure out your crafting professions, and you at least have to get to skill 80 with them if you want to be doing the midnight stuff. Of course, there's always the past expansion stuff. Then you've got to get pretty good at selling stuff as well in order to see good results at the end of it. It creates well-rounded individuals, which I think is very good and pushes you into seeing, different aspects of the game. But because there's 3 stages of decor, it will also mean that some people some people don't like the auction house PvP and so won't do it. Some people don't like farming, so they won't do it. Some people despise the profession system, so they won't do it. This means that the players that are reasonably comfortable doing the farming, crafting the decor, and selling it, they'll absolutely clean up. Absolutely clean up. No issues. But the majority of your time and efforts will be in something farming rather than crafting. Farming Majestics has been huge for so many, and the demand hasn't really kicked in yet. True. As of right now, the only real demand for the Majestics has been from crafting profession gear, which is a big part of the early part of the expansion. Yeah, but we haven't even started to see people. What? Out of curiosity, which so if we look at the Majestic Hide, for example, Reagent 4, Mark of the World Soul enchant it goes into. Like I mentioned, decor. 2 of them going into a single flipping canopy bed, for example. 2 Majestic Hides and a Majestic Fin going into a single piece of decor. Infused scale woven hides. Yeah, of course. This is 50% of the game, by the way. Because you got to remember that infused scale woven hide is a component then in every single piece of mail crafted gear, every single piece of leather crafted gear. So like quite literally 50% of the crafted gear in the game is going to have a majestic hide consumed within it, even if it's not at face value nested within the intermediate materials. Acuity of the render eye, is that a ring one, is it? But the point is if we take a look at like Mark of the World Soul right now, is it something like this? Every single one of these that's been produced, every single one of these has a majestic hide in them. And we've got, this is just one enchant, and there's like 200 or so of it that's available now, right? And the season hasn't even started. Think how many of these are going to be produced and made available for sale, and everybody will compete against everybody else, and this is just one enchant. Like, the the nice thing about this is that the market for these majestic materials is not just a season 1 thing. It will probably follow through most of the expansion as well. This is really one of the only reasons why I've been kind of willing to set up a few skinners, uh, because I genuinely think it's got quite a long tail to it. It might not just be a flash in the pan sort of situation. The interesting thing for me is that farming the majestic materials is already starting to be a little bit. People are already having to start thinking about the cost of doing it on just single characters. Hence why there's so many people just like trying to bait the lure from somebody else to use it. I think it's going to be after the what was it called? Superb Beast Fang. Superb Beast Fang in the War Within was kind of like a bit of a flop. It was kind of useful, sure, but it was nowhere near as useful as what these Majestics are. There's a lot more long tail demand than these, I think. A couple of the lures are basically free, the Voidstorm ones. Well, mostly because I don't think people have put enough knowledge points to be able to lure those beasts out. This is the thing, right? People doing the bare minimum can't go and do those. If you've done the bare minimum skinning setup, you've flown around, you got some treasures, you're like 25, 30 knowledge points in. You're not luring those. Nobody's luring the Voidstorm ones because they can't make the lures yet. Sure, they're probably trying to leech off others, maybe possibly, but I think it's simply down to the fact that most of the people doing the skinning just don't have the ability to do those yet. Does kind of mean that if people do get more knowledge points on their skinners, you might start to see the price of those lures going up as well. %90 of my raid tomorrow is cloth users. Taylor is eating good with this quote unquote balancing. Is there lots of mages, priests, and warlocks knocking about? Is there? Yeah, tailoring's going to be eating all right. Yeah, but that's also it's weird because the profession is kind of like, if you look at tailoring at face value, you're just like, this is so unbalanced, this is so broken. But the reality is all it actually does is hold more profit in what is profitable for longer. The fact that you need like 200 plus knowledge points to craft anything at quality 5 in tailoring was a mental decision compared to, if you look at that in comparison to all the other professions. But it is actually pretty good for profitability. People are going to be spinning out those imbued bolts and those cooldown bolts with some nice money attached to them for quite a while. I mean, there's already been some shenanigans, I think, with the cooldown Arcano Weave and Sunfire Silk bolts, hasn't there? Gave up on my leatherworking. Patron orders are all too expensive and they rely on a lot of knowledge points. Plenty of other professions to do instead. What did I do with leatherworking? What did I do with leatherworking? I think I went into profession tools on leatherworking. I genuinely can't remember. Chef's hat selling for a fortune? Oh, everybody trying to get some cooking on the go. Oh yeah, because that's made with tailoring as well, isn't it? Yeah. And probably it's only possible to make it top quality with concentration, meaning, yeah, you can probably charge an arm and a leg for that thing. This was a pointless realm. Nothing going on this realm. I hope Blizzard won't buff the Majestic stuff. No, there doesn't feel as if there's any need for them to. I don't think there's any need for them to. It's funny. On one hand, you've got people complaining the majestic hides are too cheap, and on the other hand, you've got people worried about the fact that they're too expensive. Like, it's I don't think anybody's going to. Well, like I said, they're all. It's already starting to not be profitable to just do single skinners and use your own lures, because the cost of your lures is outpacing the amount that you make from the hides in the first place. Surprise, surprise! Everybody farming them wants them to be worth more, and everybody that's consuming them wants them to be buffed and cost less. Who would have thought it, right? You can do the questions of Le Mans that gives you a leatherworking recipe. Use that to level up from 60 to 100. Costs 100 each. Yes. Yes. The charm something charm. It's a small little quest line you got to do, isn't it? Yeah. Ah, yeah. Leatherworking. It's all about farming, flipping moxie, isn't it? Yeah, to get all the recipes. You're right. Right. I need to decide what we're crafting next. Got a fair few spare pickaxes and sickles. Only because I ballsed up me TSM operation. Might need to restock some of the epic rare versions of them as well. Pango Charm, that's the name of it, yeah. Do you put missives on the blue tools? Yeah, blue tools are too expensive to risk. Blue tools are too expensive to risk rolling, flipping, crafting speed on them. So yeah, I use missives on the. To be fair, I'm even using missives on these green ones right now. Just to make sure that I don't roll stupid amounts of crafting speed ones, which basically go in the bin. Rank 1s or rank 2s. Whichever I need to still guarantee them at top quality. I can't remember. Probably rank 2s if it's necessary. Like I said, whatever's necessary to produce them at top quality without too much shenanigans. What's the war bank looking at now? 2.5 mil. It's probably going to cost me. Probably going to cost me the best part of 2 mil to restock the blue tools. You can use a rank 1 missive plus the plus 10 finishing reagent. Should probably be cheaper than a Q2. Yeah, there's probably some maths to be had there. Like I said, I can't. I look at it as I'm doing it. Kind of regret going into mass crafting. Mass crafting is a great way to make a lot of gold. You just have to remember that you have to be better than 99% of other players out there. You cannot take shortcuts, because any shortcut you take is a shortcut somebody else hasn't taken. And you also need to be, playing the game smarter than most, which is not easy to do on a region-wide scale. Most players who are, most people who are tinkering with professions are not expecting to have to, be using 500 IQ plays in crafting. But Blizzard decided many years ago now, by making the majority of the auction house region-wide, that that's kind of what you need. That the best players will rise to the top, and those players will make the profit, and they'll strangle out everybody else that isn't, basically. And constantly making 2.5 to 3 million gold on mass crafting daily, like you say, as long as you buy your raw mats below a certain price, it's fine. Yeah. There's a growing trend of like day trading crafting, which, much like day trading stocks in the real world, if you are top 1 percentile good at it, then yeah, you can absolutely make a mint doing it. But the vast majority of people are not. So the best way to do it is just to prioritize getting your materials as cheap as possible. Then you can mass craft all flipping day, knowing that you're 20% profit ahead of everybody else by default. That's the only way you kind of, find your edge. If I can make 40 to 50k gold AFK daily for an hour, that would be epic. This is the problem. Mass crafting is not a low effort way to make gold. The low effort way to make gold is herbing and mining, is gathering, farming. Everybody would love to, this is not singling you out in any way, shape, or form. Everybody is very much attracted by the fact that mass crafting has the opportunity, an incredibly high opportunity, to make humongous amounts of gold. But people expect to be able to harness any of that whilst practically being lazy. And it's nobody walks into arenas and gets rank 1 casually doing it for an hour a day without trying. The difficulty with crafting is that you're dealing with profit margins. 1% of people make a fuckload of gold. 90 to 95% of people lose a lot of gold. This is where there just isn't room for low effort gameplay in mass crafting. It's the most competitive way to try and make gold. It's great if you're willing to be competitive. Humongous amounts of gold to be made if you're wanting to be competitive. But people that want that, hour or two's worth of lazy AFK goal making, mass crafting is not your market. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Your market, your lazy way to make gold is to go do fishing for 15k an hour. It's to fly around and pick up herbs for 20k an hour. That's the lazy way to make a little bit of gold. Mass crafting is competitive. Loads of money in it for those that are willing to put loads of effort in. But if you put in even 10% less effort than somebody else, you're running the risk of, you know, not only not making gold, but actually losing gold. I think we need to make a bunch of these. Probably short on pickaxes right now. Let's do. How much gold have I got on me? Mill. Damn. Missive of finesse. Yeah, this is like 700 gold difference, isn't it? So we can buy 20 of those. Also, what the flipping hell they called? What are these things called? Artisan ledgers. Plenty of those as well. Theory, a cheaper way of doing it. Oh, I sold some of my enchants. Lovely. Finesse. Top quality. Then those. Now we should be able to do 20. Go. Some of my auctions are sold, but I didn't get the gold. No mail. It can take up to an hour for items to land in your mailbox. They'll disappear off your auction house interface within a couple of minutes, but they can take up to an hour to turn up. Every auction used to take exactly an hour. Every auction used to take an hour for you to get it from the auction house. It was partway through the war within. They made local sales. So anything that's sold on an individual server basis, like really quick to come through to your mailbox. Anything that's on the region-wide auction house, though, still can take up to an hour to turn up, but it's a little bit more of a scale. I think it's probably designed to smooth out, you know, to smooth out the absolute obliteration of the databases behind the scenes that must happen during peak times. Is my guesstimation, at least, anyway. We need to make some of those as well, I think. Let's make a bunch of them too. Got the goal. We didn't actually spend much of anything there, did we? Let's make 20 of these. So we're going to need 20 more Majestics. 20 more of those bad boys. 40 more Thoriums. And a hooning amount more of these. And what would we be doing? Missive of finesse on these again. 20. Then artisan, some or others. 20 of those to go. Oh, hello. Not go too bonkers crazy. I do pickaxes first? I did. Yeah, let's do sickles next. Finesse. On a U. 20. Go. Yeah, I mean, the auction house does operate a bit of a sort of trust me bro situation when it comes to sales now, but I would happily take that over the auction house crashing and burning like we saw in the War Within launch. Let's not forget, the auction house has been pretty much flawless for Midnight's launch. It's never, like, crashed or gone down. It's, like, been pretty snappy, responsive. Whatever tech that they've added to it over the last couple of years has definitely worked, and I'll take that. Oh my god, nearly died. I really do worry about the fact I think I might be getting ill. Yeah, I need that to not happen. I'd love to understand what sort of back end is actually running the auction houses. I think I think people take it for granted just the tech that goes into the auction house. It's got to be like bank level shit, you know? The amount of transactions that it's dealing with, like live 24 hours a day with like almost no latency or lag in it. It's pretty impressive, I reckon. Like, the tech behind it is probably far more impressive than I think people give it credit for. Right, I need a shitload more of these. I should have just bought a fuckload of this in the first place, shouldn't I? Rather than doing it in batches like this, but... what do we want to do with our skinning knives? Do we want to go perception on these? People who are in the know are people gonna really put blues on their skinning alts? Or do we do it 50-50s? I think we go 50-50s on the but I don't sell them based on the secondary stats, so it's gonna get messy. Might just do all perceptions. Do all perceptions. At least this batch of 20 anyway. Skinning Canifes. Oh, I had a fuckload of them already. Oh well. So be it. 20. Go. Coming back to WoW after a few years, Hunter or Feral Druid looking better in the new expansion. Feral Druid apparently is not doing too badly from what I've heard. My poor Hunter, though, they've taken away multi-shot, and I don't like my BM Hunter anymore, annoyingly. But that's just, you know, very personal opinions. Seems like they introduced a cooldown to fast refreshing. It gives that annoying bug sometimes where there's just no results. Does it mean... but the bait price situation has been good so far, so maybe that's helping. Yeah, they've definitely, you know, behind the scenes, they've definitely done some stuff. They've definitely done some stuff behind the scenes that is clearly an advantage. I still got 500,000. I can probably... Do we pad? We're gonna restock. We restock, don't we? What else have we got on this list? Do I do blacksmith hammers? Do more blacksmith hammers. What a blacksmith's gonna want on blacksmith hammers? Resourcefulness, probably. Or do we just go the safe route? Tools are a bit risky business. Hold some needle sets for some pretty spicy prices recently. Maybe we craft a few more of those. I seem to be missing dazzling thorium more than anything else. There's none of these in my war bank, which means I've found a home for any I've crafted so far. So maybe we just craft more. Tailorers are trying to claim every advantage they can get their hands on, aren't they? So let's do 20 of these as well while we're here. Needle sets, tool sets. So 20 of you. That. What do we need? Like 200 of these? Woo! 219,000 gold. Sheesh. If only I was sensible and was mass producing these myself. Well, sometimes we're not sensible. Technically got the claws, but I'm saving all my resource procs for a rainy day. Yeah. It's only gold, isn't it? There we go. There we go. There's a casual million gold in stock again. Oh, shit, I didn't pick it out the mailbox. Dinosaur, don't move. Quasi's changed his content creator name and is now doing some kid game videos. Puzzle box or something. Interesting. Yeah, there was some random ass drama about it a while ago. I tried to avoid this stuff. This is another one where can we actually like cheese one cheaper mat here? No. No flexibility there. Anybody doing work has the right to charge for their stuff, in my opinion, unless Blizzard says otherwise. Nobody's forced to buy it. Without going into past drama, I think the issue more so was that he was creatively borrowing half of his work and then repackaging it and putting it behind a paywall, which is what most people took more offense to. I agree with you. Anybody that does work has the right to charge what they want for it. I totally agree with that concept. But I don't think that was the root cause of people's displeasure. Bunch of these as well. 20 of them. Have you used all your good concentration during the war within? No, I do very little concentration stuff. I did very little of it in the war within, and I'm doing even less of it now. Well, we've just spent the best part of 1 million gold making all of these blue profession gear, all this blue profession gear. If I'm to believe Craft Sim, we've made at least 266,000 gold, potentially. I tend to believe it's probably more than that. I reckon I'll sell all of this for about 2 mil. Would be my guesstimation. The issue is, though, now we need to sell it. Now we need to actually sell it. I just... This is going to... No, if I press that button, it's going to break my game. TSM's too quick and it crashes your game. Or it crashes your bank system. Eternal bag error. I spoke to Sapu over at TSM about it. I don't know if it's on his to-do list to fix it, though. The fix is to make the war bank act as slow as the guild bank, though. That's the problem. A fix that affects such a small amount of people that whilst simultaneously making the product worse for everybody else. Okay. Right, which one of my realms wants all of these new goodies? I'm going to go with this one. See if you lot want any restocks. Everybody can make epic crafted gear tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think that makes a blind bit of difference. Personally, I think the green and the blue profession gear is relatively evergreen. The blue profession tools will always be attractive because there's about a 3-week time delay between you picking up a profession and being able to buy your epic tools for most people, which will I mean, I think there will always be pretty sizable demand for the blue profession gear now. Copium, because I'm in the market, so I kind of hope it will, but I don't dive into this sort of stuff unless I think it's got legs. Public order for an epic caster sword for 10k, yoinked it, made it a rank 4, unfortunately. It's not your loss. Not your loss. You're playing the game that Blizzard created 3 expansions ago now. People haven't learnt by this point not to use public work orders, then that's on them. It's kind of gross, but not like people haven't complained about it. I'd mail them and offer them a recraft. That stuff weighs on me. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I get it, but it's a, if you put a big old tip on a public order, you need to somewhat understand the risk that you're taking. But, people sometimes have to be bitten once or twice before they learn. And like I said, Blizzard made this system, and it's not like Blizzard hasn't been told that people think it's dog shit, and that there are much better ways that they could have changed it. They just haven't, so... Flip 12? That's one of you guys. Come up with more creative names. Flip 12. That's funny. Is it worth getting blue tools on an alt army, or is green plenty? It depends what you're doing with your alt army. There's nuance needed to that question. If you're doing concentration, then absolutely not, because you're not gonna recuperate the cost of them. Skinning is more questionable. For most alt army stuff, though, I can't really confidently say that anything other than the greens is really that worth. Not with the current prices they are. But once again, like I said, it depends, right? Because if you're, I don't know, if you're just trying to, well, alt army's not really doing work orders, is it? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Right, what I slowly now need to start seeing happening is enough sales coming through to recuperate any of these crafting costs pretty much instantly. Cancelling auction, you've undercut. Whoops, that's not meant to happen. I think of expanding to 5 more realms, maybe. I mean, go as far as you want. Go as far as you want. 5 more realms. What did you say you're doing? 20? If you're already doing 20, it's 25% more work. How are we doing, Lady Daisy? Welcome in. Good morning. I think I might restock, burn through what we've got in the war bank, what we've just crafted, make sure we can find a home for that stuff. Once I run out of stock again, I think we'll go do some of our daily skinning stuff. Bit of a change of scenery from the auction house. I only set up 2 teams of skinners yesterday. Still got like a lot to do. I just can't be bothered flying around picking up all those damn treasures. Those stupid skinning treasures. Got to reset my Hearthstone back in Dornagal. Oh dear. Ouch. Yeah, I've done that a few times. I've accidentally ended up in the Intercontinental Hotel. Threw me right back to patch 11.1. Hate the skinning treasures. Sometimes they're not even skinnable. Yeah, the 8 skinning treasures is... I can literally close my eyes and see the route I have to take. I've done it so many times. It's fine, though. It's another one of those things. I need to enjoy the journey, because once I've finished the journey, I'll get real bored of the whole thing real fast. Just logging in, placing down a lure, and killing a beast 1,000 times a day will drive me bananas. Analysis paralysis is real for me this expansion on professions. I can feel you on that one. I spent the first few days of this expansion way too scattered. I kind of knew it would probably happen because I didn't really go into the expansion with a plan. You know, there were some people that have, they spent half their festive period on the beta just optimizing and min-maxing a strategy for the launch of the expansion. I did none of that. I had no clue what I was going to do. And this meant that I spent the first few days of the expansion, I tried a bit of this, tried a bit of that. I played the game like a bit of a buffet and just ended up not really doing anything properly. I think I'm a little bit more focused on the tasks at hand right now, but I still think I'm a bit scattered. That if I did just like gung-ho Zerg one thing, that I'd be doing much better with it. But it's the goblin way, innit? Grass is always greener, and you're never happy. My worry going all in on one or two things is that they're tank and then you're boned. Well, true. True. The other thing to note on that, though, is that if you know what you're getting into in enough detail, you know that it's not going to tank, and you know that you won't be boned. That still feels like going into something relatively blind. I try not to do that. Why do you only do Eversong skinning? Oh, I don't only do Eversong skinning out of choice. It's just it's the quickest and easiest once I've set up the basic skinners. They won't stay there forever. They're not going to be killing cats for very long. Slaying puss. They will move on to more voidy things. They just need some more knowledge points. In blacksmithing, it shows 300 skills needed to mass-craft alloys with a 4-1 copper ore. But the max skill I can get is 299. Is it something I'm doing wrong? I maxed out 105 skill points and knowledge points in the old ways. Yeah, you've missed some in. Well, hang on. If you're exchanging materials, then you might just not be able to exchange materials. I don't know the I don't know the absolute min max way to do alloys. If you can't mass produce something and you're using all high quality materials, you've done something wrong. But if you're trying to exchange mats, then I don't know the logistics of that. That didn't feel like enough stuff. Is there stuff lurking in the back of my mailbox? No. Okay, sure. You notice enchanting patron orders are basically never enchants. I swear it's bugged. It was the same in the War Within, though. Patron orders for enchanting are not really a thing. They request glimmers, that's about it. I don't know necessarily why, other than the fact you don't need your knowledge points and stuff comes from disenchanting. So patron orders are really only there to give you an extra bit of moxie. It was the same in the War Within. It's just different. Enchanting was just enchanting is literally built different. But it's been the same for a while. Okay, we're back up to nearly 2 mil in the war bank again. Really am running the risk of just completely running out of gold. Oh, goblin problems. Real goblin problems. Not got enough gold to restock because I'm not selling shit fast enough. Need a gold loan? No, I'm good, thank you. I'm mostly memeing anyway. I don't think I'm running out of gold. My war bank doesn't look particularly healthy right now, but I'm still doing alright. I want to try and get up to the point where I'm doing about 10 mil in revenue a day would be nice. I mean, of course it would be nice, but I think it's more realistic to get to about 5 mil revenue a day. 5 mil revenue a day would mean about 1 to 2 mil in profit a day, which is still only as good as what Decor was a month ago. I'm telling you, Decor has ruined my perception on what's good gold these days. Same thing happened flipping with Shadowlands legendaries back in the day. Shadowlands made all of Dragonflight feel horrible. Been given a golden egg in terms of decor like 3 months ago. Was always going to make the start of the expansion feel weird. Super easy to get 10 mil revenue, buy mats for 20 mil, repost half price. Oh, true. Yeah, 10 mil easy revenue. Easy business. Buy high, sell low. That's the way we do. 50, oh, flipping hell, I'm starting to get random stuff expire. Are we thinking enchanting regains its concentration throne tomorrow, or is the minimum price difference on enchanting mat quality going to keep it in the toilet? I've been telling people for months, enchanting concentration is in the bin. It's in the bin. It's already dead. Somebody please think of the children. Already dead. The math wasn't mathing ages ago. Ages ago. Yeah, no jumper cables are reviving this one. Barely played the 2 weeks Deckle came out, made 3.5 mil profit, barely doing anything. Then again, I had an army of professions from every expansion just waiting for their glory moment. Yeah, exactly. Like being handed that on a plate is absolutely mental sauce. Like 3 months before a brand new expansion launches, it's like the midnight gold rush genuinely started on December the 2nd last year. For those that were paying attention, for those that were still playing the game, that gold rush was something special. Zanzafal's not so convinced. Or Zanzafal's still setting them up, but he's having to do some pretty spicy things to extract value out of it right now. Not a single trainer recipe is worth going anywhere near. You have to be buying like Moxie recipes to have some hopes, but he's also backing them all up with tailoring, if you've noticed, I think, which is where tailoring will be far more of the breadwinner. Even in the War Within, it took 2 to 3 weeks for enchanting to become profitable with concentration. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Hard disagree. Hard disagree. The War Within enchanting was absolutely ludicrous from the word go. Absolutely mental sauce. Hard disagree on that one. Oh, well, I mean, if you were referring to, recuperating setup costs, well, yeah, then sure, maybe, but you were printing from day one. You were absolutely printing in the War Within. The only reason it took a few weeks to recuperate costs in the War Within was because you had to spend like 30,000-40,000 gold minimum on each profession. So it took you a few cycles of concentration to claw that back, but you were doing 35 gold per you were a bar of concentration was worth like 30 to 35,000 gold in the first season of the War Within. It was kind of silly. Because it was also the same time, if you remember, that there wasn't a shard shatter, so dust was just like Q3 dust was just stupid money, which was only elevating the profits even harder. This time round, though, when you take a look, and high quality and low quality mats are basically the same price, and it's unlikely to get much better with the prospecting rates, being that you end up getting more high quality stuff than you do low quality stuff, whatever you want to call it. It's I've been telling people, I hate to be right on this, but I've been telling people for flipping ages. The math ain't mathin'. Now people are getting to see it for themselves. Right, we most of the way through this stock yet. Feel like I should be a good chunk of the way through. Yeah, we've not got too many more to go. Have I found a home for all of these items, though? I probably shouldn't just leave them in the war bank. Price difference between dust shards crystals tells you everything you need to know about how the enchanting concentration will go, I think. That and everybody has tons of the war within enchanting characters, and people are in general slow to change. Yeah, the difficulty is that everybody wants it to still continue working, you know, because that was what they thought was going to be their ticket to success, because it worked so well in the war within. People were like, right, now I'm going to just like double, triple, quadruple my efforts, and it's going to be worth even more in the next expansion because everything's new again, and I'm going to be rich. And you know, crushing that dream is you know, not what people don't want to let go of. That it makes sense, but you know, when you look at it rationally and you look at the maths and you look at the system, it's just not going to work. Like I said, you break it down, you run the numbers, it just doesn't work. Concentration adds value by saving you the cost of having to buy the high quality materials. When the high quality materials are worth less than the normal quality ones, or near enough exactly the same, where's your saving? Where's your profit? It's just not there. Might be slightly biased with 130 enchanters. Like I said, people are emotionally attached to their enchanting concentration alt armies, meaning they're reluctant to look at it too rationally. They might go in with a bunch of hopium, but like I said, math ain't mathin'. Like the math doesn't make sense. Where's your profit margin when the value of the materials are nigh on identical and the production of materials turns up in equal quantities? The only slight possibility is that mass producing normal quality stuff, or should I say the floor price on normal quality enchants will be so high that it will be a bit of a no-brainer for most people to buy the high quality, meaning that the normal quality might, due to the extra or the lack of demand for them, push them down in price. And when they get pushed down in price, it creates the illusion of more profit, but it's still not it's not great. Even if you really try and hack your way an advantage to it, it doesn't look great. She's already dead, Captain. The patron orders, on the other hand, you probably make more gold from the patron orders with enchanting than you do the concentration today. In fact, I'd almost guarantee you make more from the patron orders. Because the variety of materials you get out of those goodie bags, plus the augment runes, probably worth more than what you get via concentration. Right, I've still got way too much of this in my bags to leave it here, unfortunately. Can't go crafting 1,000,000 gold worth of items and then leave half of it in the war bank. That is not going to result in profit, is it? So I might have to try a little bit harder to find some of this a home before we move on to doing something else. And you've got three more characters on this account, but these are higher population realms, meaning prices are usually too low for me to bother posting on. Oh, sold a few green tools. If this realm is willing to take any of the blue tools. Not really. Too cheaps. Cheaps. Any guesses on petrified roots in the next week or two? Well, in theory, they drop out of patron order goodie bags these days. They are going to drop way more regularly. Just think about how many flipping high-end delves and dungeons are going to get run in the next few weeks. It's disgusting amounts. I think there's going to be plenty of those things knocking about. They were very scarce at the beginning. The only flip side is that they are consumed pretty goddamn heavily now in top end crafting stuff. So supply will be higher, but so will demand by quite a margin. Meaning the price could go either way. Like that's a real kind of flip a coin, crystal ball kind of job. Yeah, I couldn't comfortably predict what's going to happen with roots. But yeah, both supply and demand is going to both spike simultaneously, so see what happens. The only thing you've also got to remember is that regardless to what the supply or demand dictates, goblins will always do goblin things. Meaning there will always be somebody on reset day that resets the price of roots. Somebody will take a punt and drop 10 million gold resetting the root market. And, that will always have an effect, probably more so than the supply and the demand, to be honest. Goblins will do goblin things. Yeah, quite literally a shot in the dark, really, on that one. People love a gamble. I want to say thank you for the Midnight Goblin Guide. It's 100% worth it. Thank you, I appreciate that. A lot of time and effort went into it. The interesting thing is I'm actually most happy with the decor guide that I produced before. I think that's going to actually have way more long-term value to people because it's far more well-rounded. But this is me being hypercritical of myself again. Should just take the compliment and run with it, thank you. Right, yeah, there's still way too many. There's probably 250,000 gold worth of stuff there. That still needs a home. That's, okay, you've disconnected. Well, this account. Oh, this is the account that didn't have enough flipping green tools put on it in the first place. It's also don't add them to vendors like tinderboxes. Yeah, I don't think we'll see any sort of conversion thing again. We were talking about this a bit more earlier. I don't think there's any single material that's that like broken that it will cause anything like that to happen, really. I don't think there's any one market that's massively oversupplied. I don't really think there's any market that's massively undersupplied. I don't. I think most things will just work itself out quite nicely. And honestly, I tend to think even back in the day, tinderboxes was only a problem mostly down to goblin do goblin things. I think the supply of tinderboxes weren't that bad, but look how many times tinderbox it just became a meme, didn't it? This was the thing, right? It just became a bit of a, and everybody was talking about it, and everybody was contemplating resetting them, and everybody thought that none of them were and this just jacked the price of them to like 10, 12k a piece. I tend to believe that most of it was completely falsified. Pure speculation, yeah, with the tinderboxes. But of course, the fact that they were used in they went into, you had tinderboxes went into the sanctified alloys for the most part, didn't they? Which meant blacksmithing was just like 4 times the price of everything else. So it was like really, really problematic that you had one armor class that was just getting bent over hard. Weirdly, that might be Clothy's this time round, because tailoring's super busted. Nobody's producing anything high quality tailoring, which is going to mean anybody that wants their top tier high, anybody that wants their good stuff through tailoring, woo, mages, warlocks, priests, get ready. Get ready. With or without flipping alt exploits. Moats seem oversupplied. Over a million pure void moats on the EU, less than 2 gold apiece. Wouldn't be surprised if Blizzard did something on that. No, I mean I've been pretty public with my opinion on moats. It's the one thing that I don't think people are sleeping on it, but I'm pretty sure when you look at it at face value, everybody's farming moats. Nobody's using moats. It's not really a surprise they've been very, very cheap. But do we suspect that situation will change? I think it not only does it change, I think it completely flips on its head. I think we'll go from a first 2 week of the expansion scenario where absolutely nobody's using any moats because all people are doing is leveling up the flipping professions. Nothing during the leveling process of professions really requires you to use many moats, but the flipping moat farm kicks on real quick when you start looking at producing endgame commodities. There is not a single enchant, gem, potion, flask, consumable in general that doesn't take a fuckload of moats. So yeah, let's have this conversation again in a couple of weeks' time and see what the price is on them then, shall we? That's my theory, at least. Fuses will need to be nerfed and probably will. You can farm 1,000 of them in less than an hour. Yeah, but you're kind of forgetting. You're kind of forgetting one significant factor with that. All of the people doing the skinning and the farming right now are doing it because they got fucking nothing else to do. Right? They haven't got their Mythic Plus runs to do. They haven't got their top tier delves to do. They haven't got their raid bosses to slay. They're keeping themselves busy because they got nothing else to do. Genuinely nothing else to do. One thing that happens at the beginning of every expansion, every single time, categorically guaranteed, it's happened every expansion ever, is that there's a huge amount of farming before the content comes out, and basically no farming once the content does come out. So, yeah, do with that information as you please. Skinning knife over here. It's me, I'm maintaining 5 majestic skinners. Suddenly don't know if I can when content actually drops because I won't have time. This is it. This happens every single time. Huge amounts of people just keep themselves busy before their chosen content of choice turns up. And then soon as it does, they flip and drop it like it's hot, right? There's a humongous drop off in the amount of materials farmed literally the second the season launches. It happens every single expansion. And it's a snowball. It's snowballed by the fact that everybody also theoretically believes that the beginning of the expansion is like Christmas come early for goal making as well, which is not totally right. It's not totally wrong, but this is why a lot of people just keep themselves busy, and then look, my Mythic Plus dungeons are available. I'm going to go from doing 15 hours a week of farming to maybe 2 hours a week. And that has a pretty sizable effect on the supply of materials. Partly one of the reason why a lot of materials do rise in price in Season 1 after the season starts. Partly due to the fact that the amount of farming just drops off a cliff. We have the first 2 weeks where it's just like huge amounts of supply of everything produced. And then the tap gets turned off. Unless you're an M plus, and you have to wait that extra week for the season to come out for some reason. Well, true, there is that, but the spread, I guess, of the hype phase of this season is gonna the fact that we now have 3 different raids. The whole season's gonna feel as if it lasts a lot longer, I think, which is good for goblins in general. It's good for us players who don't really intend to spend humongous amounts of time doing Mythic Plus or Raid or anything like that, because it'll mean that the cash cow will last a lot longer, I think. M0's on a daily lockout next week as well. Well, that'll also keep a lot of people busy, yeah, because a lot of people will want to run their M0s every day. I mean, a world tour is a few hours of work for even Speedy Gonzalez. Wonder what the bots are farming? Yeah, the gore guppies, if they know what they're doing, yeah. It's why you want to go negative perception if you're doing fishing. Because the rare fish are worth only a fraction of the uncommon fish. Common fish. Kind of a bit silly. I haven't finished leveling my fishing dude yet. I thought about it the other day. I contemplated going for the big, fancy, expensive fishing enchant thing. I can't remember what it's called. But then I realized, do I actually want to spend 20 hours fishing? Nah. Nah. I'll pass. Hey, we're starting to find a home for most of this stuff now, which is good. I'm even too lazy to farm the epic tools on more than one character. I think I've done. I should probably double check this actually, since it's Tuesday. I think I've done all the dun-duns on the very small selection of characters I actually care about. I think I've done all the dun-duns. Fun fact: my druid has enough to buy an epic tool, and I haven't even bothered. I haven't even bothered. Yeah. Okay, all of this is going on the auction now, so that's nice. Love to find a realm where it just takes everything. All the characters that were actually ready for the epic tools this week were not my mass crafters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The taking the druid with herbalism and mining through to 91st in the first few days of early access. In hindsight, was yeah, it meant that they were able to get flipping epics when I really couldn't care less about an epic tool on a herbalist. It's a bit of a whoops. You know, you can't get everything right. Is it still horrible to get max currency doing an abundance event? Don't know. I've not done them for like days. It changes every day. I lose track. I'll do them again tomorrow. No epic tools are useless on gathering. It's useless spending gold on a character that I'm not doing anything with. Yeah, I can count on one hand the amount of herbalism and mining I've done this week. So taking the expense of putting an epic tool on it ain't gonna make a difference. If you're doing 20 hours of herbing and mining, though, it makes a world of difference. Yes. That said, there's lots of people out there right now that are like saying that herbing and mining is like only 20,000 gold an hour. But I bet if you checked their characters that they probably don't have half the knowledge points. They probably only have green profession tools. They're probably not using consumables. I'm pretty sure that if you once again, dare I say it, it's an effort thing, right? I think if you put basically no effort into herbing and mining, sure, you probably make 15 to 20k gold an hour. And if you're happy with that, great. But if you do actually properly put some effort into it, I think 50, 60, 70,000 gold an hour is possible with herbing and mining still. I haven't been willing to science it because I've got other stuff to do, but At least herbalism and mining is one of those areas where your profession does actually dictate quite a lot of the of your potential. Because I would imagine the difference between a green crafting speed tool and an epic finesse tool is probably quite different. But that epic profession tool, it also isn't going to be free. You are going to have to pay for the materials to make it, plus a tip for somebody to actually make it. It could cost you a few hours, could put you behind by a few hours of farming just to get your epic tool. But then once it's paid for, it's done, right? Cash money from there on out. Do you invest in yourself or not? It's up to you. That's why doing some farming is the most easiest and obvious thing to suggest to like anybody that's getting into gold making, because it's really down to you and not really down to anybody else. Drizzling Rose with the party of 101. Holy, Rose popping off. Huge raid. Get raided, nerd. Thanks. Appreciate that. I've been stood at the auction house most of the day. Did you get your levels done? Are you world first yet? If not, why not? Take a shower, by the way. Welcome in, raiders. Thank you very much for bringing them over here. It's become quite a struggle to keep the flipped decor restocked. Buying it 80%, still can't find enough of it. So anybody who's looking for some easy money, go farm some lumber and list some decor at 79% for guaranteed sales. Yes, true that. My actual stockpile of decor is... I would probably almost go as far as saying an all-time low, yeah. Down to 287 levels left. Flipping hell. That's crazy talk. And here's me with my 2 level 90s. You're making me look amateur, Rose. Making me look amateur. Right, I think I have now nearly finished this restock. I just want to get rid of all of the blue items from the war bank. I don't mind leaving a few greens in there, because they don't cost anything to make, but this blue profession gear needs to find a home. Otherwise it just rots in the war bank, and we don't want that. Professions now take from your own character's bank. Yes, yeah, if you're crafting, it will craft from either your bank or the war bank, or your bags, or a combination of all three. Can be very handy. Okay, yeah, we're down to only a real small handful. We got some needle sets and some skinning knives left. That's not too many. We can find some quick homes for those, surely. Would you suggest stocking up on moats, linen now, etc. before the season? I couldn't definitively tell you what you should or shouldn't be stocking up on, but the general trend is pretty much always that within a couple of weeks, prices will likely be higher than they are now. But at the same time, there's also a lot of stuff that might actually crash in price, so Be careful. Investments is always a risk because nobody has a crystal ball. We're all just guessing. I historically try very hard not to speculate too much on price here because it's mostly due to the fact that it's a kiss curse scenario. Luckily, I think a lot of people have value in what I have to say on this topic, but that also then tends to mean that if I say yes to something, it just pumps the stock, and I don't really like doing that. So I either shut up about stuff and don't say anything at all, or I try to speak relatively generally about the topic. I know that's not always what people want, but crypto rug pull goblin style, yeah. Yeah, that's not my intentions. $10,000 moats is approximately 25,000 gold over in the US. Might as well. Yeah, I mean, conceptually, you only ever want to, pre-invest in materials using gold that you're happy to lose. If somebody can take 25,000 gold out of your player's back pocket and you not really notice, then it's probably safe to, safe to play with it. It's when you see people turn around and say, I spent 10 million gold on this, and then you say, how much gold did you have? And they said 11 million gold, and you're like, oh, you done fucked now. If that goes wrong, you are up the creek. But some people consider all of their gold just monopoly money, play money, don't they? So, oh, this is a reasonable realm. A knife, a toolbox, and a skinning knife. Yoink. Well, I can already say that million gold worth of blacksmithing tools we made earlier, revenue wise at least, it's basically paid back already. Warbank is back up to where it was before we crafted all of that stuff, so we've definitely sold enough things already. My thinking on stuff at 2 gold is how much can it actually go up? If it's 5 times, that's still only 80k profit. The super cheap stuff is also less risky as well, though, isn't it? Because when it's 2 gold, it can't really go down that much further. It's only problematic if you start dropping M's on it. But like I said, each to their own with this sort of stuff. I don't really like the speculation game that much. Crafting, unfortunately, is boiled down so hard these days that you kind of have to speculate on materials to squeeze value out of your crafting professions, or at least to minimize the risk. So there's no avoiding it to a degree. Hence why my goal making these days is more reliable and less risky. Or at least I think it's less risky. Don't have much hope in the moats, even though I have a lot. I can confirm I have hundreds of thousands of each of the moat. Like for pure disclaimer reasons, I have literally hundreds of thousands of every single one of the moats. I'm Like I said, I'm always willing to be wrong on this. But generally speaking, I think, I mean, moats can't get that much cheaper, can they, at the end of the day? I think I looked yesterday, and there was about 3 million gold worth of moats on the entire EU. Like, they were that cheap. Somebody with 20, 40, 50, 100 mil is just going to scoop them all up regardless. Just as, even if it's just because it's funny. Like, there's a lot of opportunity for shenanigans with them. And if nothing else, I'll have basically an unlimited supply of moats to craft with from for the rest of the expansion if it does go horribly wrong. What add-on money am I using for the warband bank? Bagnator, I think it is. It's called Bagnator. Does both my regular bags and the warbank. Or Bagnator? I think so. It's got ported out of the abundance without any reward. Nice. Hey, good to know. Good to know that abundance is still broken. Love all the plus mouse add-ons. Yeah, they're top tier add-on dev for sure. Oh, look at all these stinky undercuts. Absolutely disgusting. How dare people undercut my auctions? Oh, that was the wrong button. Fuck, I gotta let that do it now. I hate it when I do that. Let it breathe. Short form to bags was the button I was meant to press. Interestingly, it took out less than it put back in. That doesn't feel right, does it? Okay, I think we're nearly at the point where we can just let this cook for a while. Let it cook. Probably go do some skinning for a bit. Oh, I've got 4 more realms. Let's blast through these last 4. Can't leave it this close to the end, can we? It's barely a gold cap to buy every moat on the auction house in the EU. Oh god. There's billionaires that lurk in this stream, by the way. There's people with more gold in this game than you can possibly imagine that lurk in this stream, which is why I'm overly cautious about saying things like that. Because some people will do it just for the lols. I got the itch. Chat, you're going to get me banned for market manipulation at this point. Actually curious on moats. Got a delve Matt's feel about them. That's coming from somebody who invested about 8 million into them. There we go. There we go. That's it. Somebody's dropped 8 M's on them and is still cautious. Welcome in, Woo, by the way. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate your input on this sort of stuff. Anybody here with an insane leveling strat instead of running the Voidstorm Delve like 500 times? I can only tell you what I've seen other people doing. There's the Calamity variation of the Silvermoon Delve, I think, is very good. Whichever one Drizzling Rose has been running like 5,000 times. Outside of that, I'm the wrong person to ask. Okay, only needle sets now. That's fine. I found home for most of this stuff, which is good. That means if I found a home for it, it's selling on a realm that I'm set to make at least 30% margin when it sells, which is good. That should hopefully mean a day or two's worth of sales will more than cover the cost of crafting everything. Then any remaining stock is just cash in the bank. Calamity, Voidstorm, Delve, Light Bloom, Silvermoon, and then questing. Yeah, I genuinely think just banging out the campaign as fast as you can is probably still pretty competitive. I don't know if there's much min-maxy shenanigans on leveling yet. Players always figure out stuff though. Rested XP is pretty strong for leveling. How's what's his name? Haldren? He's made a little, what didn't he call it? Follow the arrow or something. He's made a leveling add-on, hasn't he? Which I'm intrigued to have a little bit of a look at. As a long-term Zygor aficionado, I'm intrigued to see what the competition has to offer. I do love me a bit of Zygor, especially at the beginning of an expansion. Now, hashtag ad. I am affiliated with Zygor, by the way, just to be clear. 20% off a code Manthe. But it's, you know, I only shill it because it's really good and I've used it for years. He reckons you can level to 90 in 2 hours now? Holy, okay. That's pretty spicy. 90 in 2 hours would be fun. Did you see, who saw that there was this weird, there was some critter bug or something the other day, critters that were given experience like they were elites. And some dude figured out how to, I think it was it, well, I can't remember exactly what it was, but somebody was selling like 80 to 90 in an hour, like 7 minutes a level or something silly, till it got hotfixed later that day. There's been some pretty broken methods already for leveling. I'm using the FTA add-on. Oh, follow the arrow. Yeah. So far, I can recommend it. I'll definitely check it out. Don't want to be that guy, but I'm literally watching Moat's availability go down in real time. All I can say is I'm sorry. If it doesn't work out, I'm sorry. Like, this is why I try not to. This is why I try not to do too much of this. For this exact reason. To a degree, I hate the fact that I do sort of have influence on this a little bit. It makes me feel a bit weird. So I guess the safe option is just to shut up about a minute. It's got 300 in fishing, only to realise that I'm using the War Within fishing tool. Lol. Whoops. I think my main dude uses the Underlight Angular still the Legion artifact fishing one, just because it looks cool. Like you've said, those sell shovels in the Gold Rush. I mean, pretty much, yeah. Wow Street bets. Oh, I don't want that level of responsibility. I don't like it. Right, we'll go do some skinning in a minute. We'll pump the stock on skinning Majestics instead. Christ. Is it just me, or does the expansion feel like it's been out for an age and nothing is actually real yet? Feels so late for a raid launch. The pacing, does, yes, feel like it's like I'm genuinely about ready for a break from the game, and the season hasn't even started yet. Yes, basically 2 weeks plus early access is yeah, a while. The fact that housing came out in December as well, it's just been go 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 for like it, or at least it feels like it's been go 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 for like 6 months now at this point. There is part of me that kind of wants the season to open up and for me to just forget about everything else and just play the game for a couple of weeks. I need Mantheus to say some really nice things about enchanting. What, have you not heard about that secret hotfix to Dust? Have you not heard about that one? No, I joke. Don't touch the Dust mark. It's fine. Leave it alone. Right. Let's do some skinning. Where's Mutheus when I need him? Mutheus. A moo. One moo? I'm missing an account. My biggest problem right now is that all the quests feel very, you must do this right now, but there is literally no consequences for leaving them a month. Everything's super important, but not important at all. Get off, you stupid bear. Get off. Oh yeah, this is something I need to consider. Like, my main Skinner dude is like level 83. So he is both kind of lost that twinked out level 80 feel to him. Only cheaper... cheap gear. Are you shitting me? Item level 178 Evercore gear. Are you mad? Sure. 178 braces. $152. I'll do. Shoulders, 152. $165 blood tempered chest piece. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't be buying the expensive one. Don't be silly. 50 gold for 152 BOE. God bless Draenor and its cheap gear. I'm not even looking at what any of these are. It's at the top of the list and it's costs me nothing. 152 greatsword. Why the did we ever spend any time flipping pre-gearing in the pre-patch event when 152 item level gear is just dished out for free? I think I spent about 400 gold there and probably gained 50 item levels. Somebody told me to do this yesterday and I didn't. Oh, it's an intellect sword. Whoops, let's try again. Let's try that again, shall we? Usable. Can I get me a strength one, please? What's this? All arms. Two-handed sword. There we go. Strength. Nearly did a whoopsie there. Ha! Literally getting like 30 item levels. Okay. I had to RMA the laptop because the VRAM was dodgy. Oh dear God. Yeah, that's not something you want. Bind on pickup adventure track gear is money at the moment. Oh, are you getting orders for that stuff, are you? Right, let's get the ball rolling. Who are we missing? You. Right, let's now see how our newfound item level. See if we slap a bit harder. Okay, that was definitely better. Yo, Claw, first skin of the day. Never lucky. I'm not going to bother doing any inventory stuff today. I'll put all the stuff in the guild bank tomorrow. Just bang through a bunch of tunes, quick time. I've probably only got about, oh my God. Yeah, I've only got about an hour. If I can rapid fire through these a bit more. Right, 4 tunes, only 1 majestic so far. Or 5 tunes technically, because this dude it was actually his skin that got the majestic. You can nearly AFK in the abundance again. Flip flop in this event is outrageous, by the way. So much flippity flop. Hello? Why is this being stupid? Hey, going on here? Okay, sure. Completely AFK'd the abundance, and it says I got a total score. Very difficult event. You know, by the last Titan, they'll have balanced it and got it sorted. By the last Titan, it'll be fine. Stupid abundance. How much do you play off stream? Well, at the moment, quite a lot. Throughout most of the expansion, though, I do bits and pieces off stream, but not all that too much. Do that so people can see. See the juicy purples that are not turning up. Never lucky. World of Warcraft: The Last Abundance. I just want the green abundance rat as a mount. That's all I want. I'd go run abundance again if they made that amount. And his special is to play the voice lines. Like, / yell the voice lines as well. That would just be funny. Can't wait to run abundance on 80 times again on reset. Gotta love Wednesdays. Yeah, boy. Gotta love those Wednesdays. Come on, account number 4. There we go. Why is Easy Party not working on this main dude for some reason? Oh, there we go. I'm waiting for people to realise there is no gold world quests, and the only weekly they can do on alts for gold is abundance. Well, this is something that's been checked. This was also changed in the War Within, by the way. You don't get gold world quests for as long as you still need renown with the faction that gives you the quest. Gold is the bonus reward after you no longer need any rep. So once you start hitting renown cap, then the gold quests start appearing. Because Blizzard has decided that reputation is worth more than gold to you. They can always sell you gold, they can't sell you rep. Is the theory. 1 claw, 2 claws. You think they'll finally reduce the Marl costs on the renown books and recipes like they said earlier on? Did they say? There was some decor that they reduced the price on, I think, but... Every zone seems to have a weekly quest that awards a satchel with 2 to 4k gold in it. Is that the weekly for Harindar? Yeah, your pinnacle. They were called pinnacle caches, weren't they? In the War Within, I don't know what they're called these days. They've probably given them some midnight-esque name. But your 2 first weekly caches will give you a piece of gear. I think that stayed the same, but all of those caches are actually pretty good for just straight raw gold if that's your jam. In fact, they almost seem to be boosted for raw gold. Maybe that is to counter the lack of raw gold from things like world quests. I don't know. Are you officially done with Abundance after the changes to the event, making it more difficult to consistently get 900 alloy per shard? I'm just not gonna blast it. Like I'll just do it as and when, and you know, the points I get, the points I get. It's more than anything, it's more of a realization that the epic profession gear, past getting the tool, the epic profession gear is not that valuable. It's valuable if you are mass crafting, and it's, you know, an improvement on the tool in your toolbox, but there are other ways to gain advantages, such as being more savvy about how you get your materials, which will probably equate to far more of a tangible advantage than spending hours and hours and hours of my week every single week running a stupid little mini game I don't enjoy. It's, you know, is the simple fact of it for me. If it was like literally the only possible thing you could do to gain an advantage, then, well, you might be kind of cornered into having to do it. But I'm not convinced it is the only way to gain an advantage. I don't know, 4% multi-craft that you can gain off your tool is probably the biggest advantage. So once you've got your epic tool, the other 2 pieces of epic gear are just kind of like, meh. Most players actually will only really need one of the pieces of one of the accessories anyway, because of how the stats are balanced on them. If you know, if you're like a scribe or something and you're doing milling, you only need the resourcefulness, so that really only means you need your tool and one of the epic pieces of gear. Because the other piece of gear will give you like ingenuity and crafting speed or you know, a stat that you don't really care about. Alchemy epics are big, all multi-craft. Yeah, I mean, stacking the multi-craft on the tool, I think the maths is roughly about 4%. Roughly a 4% bonus by having it, which 4% extra multi-craft actually makes quite a lot of difference to your profit margins. But like I said, I still think you can probably get 20% better margin on your crafted goods just by getting your materials, you know, focusing more on getting your materials, which is, in my opinion, far better use of your time and efforts than stressing about an abundance system that is weekly time gated. Do what you need to do. Do your abundance runs, but don't stress about whether you get 300, 600, or 900 points. You'll get your tools when you get your tools. Just maybe get up a bit early. Get up a bit early in the morning and buy your materials before everybody else does. That's probably worth 15% margin for you right there. Work smart, not hard. bashing your face against the keyboard to do abundance is probably the work hard approach. Only one majestic claw from that. We've had flipping poo-poo luck on these so far today. What if working hard gets me hard? You do you, quite literally. Dawn crystals, hold or sell? Are you happy with the price of them? If so, sell them. Do you have that many that it matters? Got half as many majestics today too, very strange. You have some good days, you have some bad days. With stuff like this, with like materials, lots of people often turn around and like, oh, okay. Okay. What's going on here then? Login servers were cooked this morning. Turns out they're cooked again. Oh no, I pumped the stock on moats too hard. We might be done for the day. Anybody know why Craft Sim doesn't work right on one character of my 25? No idea, my friend. No idea. Okay, login servers are cooked. Well, okay, let's do it this way then. If these are frazzle dazzled, if these ones are frazzle dazzled, let's turn them off. They're frazzle dazzled. We'll go and do the other kills on this fella. Where's me flight style button? I'm not flying around doing flipping dum-dum flight mode. Have you tried turning it on and off again? My Capton skin. Oh no, I've got dun-duns on me. We go do some dun-dun runs. We put it to test. We put it to test. 5 dun-dun shards. Can't have them knocking about. Haven't even done my weekly. What's this? Oh, snap. Go full screen now, I suppose, can't we? Don't know why I was holding half the screen away. How fast do you think ore prices will go down from now on? That seems like a bait question. That question is making the implication you believe that you assume that I believe the prices of ore is going down. Oh, a treasure dun. Whack the rat, whack the rat, diddle 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 diddle, whack the rat. Double treasure dun-duns, quad treasure dun-duns. You just have to make this fun. That's the only way you can do it. You just got to make it fun. Did I get experience there? Wait, hang on. Maybe it was a discovery thing. Boring man, this just buy all stocks, fuck's sake. Make dun fun again. This dun does not align with my political beliefs. Right, do you think we've done enough to secure the win on this one? Alright, that's got to be a 900 pointer right there, hasn't it? Gotta be a 900 pointer. Boom! Mad skills. What are these things called? Overflowing abundant satchel. These are considered pinnacle caches again, aren't they? 2k gold. Pair of shoulders. Stinky healing potion. We go again. You need to match the profession to the abundance. No, not at all. No, there's no requirement for you to actually have the professions. It's just purely the theming. It's not very clear, though, that that's the case. Another one of these things where Blizzard could definitely do a much better job of making that sort of like straightforward and easy to understand. Am I legit gonna die in a dun run? Is that even a thing? I mean, I'm not, because I'm a paladin, but... there are little bonus nodes, yeah, like these things, that if you have the right profession, you can press it and it gives you some progress. But for the, there's no requirement to have the profession, no. We got a minute 16. I have turned off the dialogue lines in this place. After the first week of hearing them screamed 500,000 times, I'd had enough. Turned off dialogue. Do you think investing in contracts is a good idea for money making via the auction house? If you were going to, you already should have. Contracts was a market that's probably come and gone now for the most part. I don't think anybody really cares about the contracts anywhere near as much this expansion. It's the impression I've got. And if you were going to make good gold with contracts, that time's already passed, I think. People spend the big money on the contracts when they're trying to min-max their rep, which is something they'd have already been doing for 2 weeks if they were going to do it. Next season, though, might not be a bad side hustle for next season if they release a new faction, new zone, that sort of thing. Another 900. Might as well grab as many points as we can. This is one of those characters that I'm going to be using a lot throughout the expansion, so maybe not a terrible idea. Seems to be doing alright on frame rate as well for once in here. Still don't seem to be able to hold a solid 60, which is annoying, but better than the 15 FPS I was getting in here the other day. This is better in a solo or raid now with the change. I lose track. Like, genuinely, it changes every single day what the meta way to do it is. I'm not doing it in a raid or a party or nothing. But, you know, I play on one of the biggest realms, so there's a good chance there's a few people knocking about in here anyway. Seems to be going smoothly. Yeah, it's difficult to keep up with it because they've changed the rules every other day. Like, they seem to have made it so the bubbles can be picked up by other people, but like that dude didn't pick this bubble up for some reason. There's no reason to sort of suggest why he did or didn't, unless you have to literally touch it with the tip of your whatever. The funny thing is it's genuine. All of this should have been testing that was done like years ago on the beta. Right? There was no reason that none of any of this couldn't have been tested on the beta. And not even by like the public, by the way, from Blizzard's actual QA team. Why didn't 20 of them get together and test an abundance raid if they knew that it was going to be something that was going to happen a lot when the raid comes out? They got they boasted these teams of 700 plus developers, yet they couldn't get 20 of them together to test abundance before it went live, you know? It just doesn't make sense. Genuinely doesn't make sense. How can you both have 700 developers working on a game, but yet not put 20 of them together to test out something that's clearly designed to be done in a, I don't know. Tor and Biss, bigger hitbox? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, Coltier and Biss. Larger quantity of mass. Weirdly, this does kind of feel better as a melee class, because when you kill something, you're already standing on top of it. I noticed on my hunter that, like, I was killing everything, sure, but then I had to run to go get the balls, which you don't really have to do as much as a melee, because things die on top of you. A weird, subtle difference between characters. I knew being extra fat was a stat boost. Hey, it's got to come in useful somewhere. Well, they haven't really, like, a plus 3-yard pickup radius is kind of terrible. Why is the pickup radius not like 20 yards? You know, why don't they really lean into the vampire survivors? Let you stack like humongous pickup radius. Also, if this was like an instance minigame, I'm sort of convinced that this is kind of, this abundance system was meant to be the, like, the you know, there was rumors, people digging through the code of some sort of like vampire survivors crossover. I think this is the bastard child of whatever they had planned for that. This is also why I think this turned up on the alpha for midnight quite early on, and then didn't really seem to be touched basically at all until the launch of the game. I think this abundance system was what they were planning to have as that, like, Vampire Survivors crossover that maybe the contract didn't go through. That it, you know, it fell, whatever the crossover was, it fell through. But these were the assets that had already been produced for it, and hence why they were just like, right, that can go in midnight then. Hence why it was like, it looked to be half done pretty early on in the alpha, and then nothing. It was probably because they basically signed it off as just like, you know, this is Overwatch to, you know, Overwatch to what Titan could have been, sort of thing. For those who understand the analogy. That had the backdrop of Duskwood, though. Oh, that was something different. That was like a... That was meant to be like some horror survival crossover. That, I think, was probably left over from the survival game that Blizzard were making, but canned. That was something that got... There was a slide of that in a presentation once ever, that nothing ever came of it. I'm sort of convinced this abundant event is a leftover asset from something they were planning on doing that they didn't. Somebody needs to get chummy with like some proper devs though that might spill the tea on something like that. Means that for the upcoming week, the only way to get your free Catalyst charge is to do PvP and get a rating of 1600. If you can afford to wait another week, you can do Mythic Plus and get it that way instead. Yeah, I heard mutterings of that Sweats are going to be doing PvP a lot next week. As there's some gear advantage to doing it, even if you're not a PvPer naturally. Which... could work in two ways. Do you think the Sweats would buy some basic PvP gear? Or do you think they just end up boosting each other anyway? I'm out of the loop on what the gearing strategy is for Midnight. I know a few subtle things have changed with crests and things. Is there not a bit of mini drama that they seem to have slowed down the progression of gearing for Midnight as well? To the surprise of nobody, really. I got two more dun runs. Why is my total maximum 2 of 8? Eh? I have no idea what these numbers mean. Let's keep running it until it says we can't run it anymore. 11k unalloyed on this character. I need to get within reach of getting 16 next week and then we're fine. Or tomorrow, technically, isn't it? The Duskwood thing is coming in 12.17 as a standalone mode, by the way. It's on the roadmap. Is it? Okay. I remember them showcasing the... Oh, what's it called? It's another game ripoff. What's it called? The thing where you're an anonymous object and you hide. The flipping hell's that called? That mini game that's turning up soon, TM. I remember that one in the announcement trailer. Prop hunt, yeah, that's the one. There's a mini prop hunt. Try saying that fast after a few drinks. Hide the sausage? No, that's a different game. That's a different game. That's a game you only play with your significant other. Or really good friends. There doesn't seem to be anybody else in here now. This might be a bit of a test to see what it's like when we run solo. Since I appear to be Lone Ranger all of a sudden. Really good friends. Really good friends with benefits. Let me touch the mummy. Let me touch the mummy. Mummy is touched. More friends with no standards. Oh dear. Hey, people can do whatever they want. I'm not here to judge. Oh shit, I haven't been turning in any of my gimme goods. Pop hunt when done well is so much fun. I don't know where prop hunt originated from, but the Mario Odyssey prop hunt in a group is hilarious. Yeah, I don't know where it came. Wasn't it like something to do with Steam again, isn't it? Wasn't Prop Hunt a spin-off of Gary's Mod or something? I don't know. Which in itself was a spin-off of something else. It does kind of sound like something that would be quite cool to play in a group. I'm not sure how it's going to work for streamers though. I think the don't know how the prop hunt thing's going to work there. I could foresee like if there's some sort of the little bit of info we saw about it, it did kind of look as if there was some sort of spectator mode for it. Which also leads me to wonder, if they develop a spectator mode for this prop hunt, do we think they'd put spectator mode in the raids? Can you imagine? Race to world first, in-game spectator mode. You could watch the big boys do their thing, you know, fly on the wall in the raids. We already watch them stream it all anyway, don't we? Anyway, distraction, squizzles. It looked like there was going to be some sort of spectator mode to it, which that could be then more fun for like content creator, streamer to like host a prop hunt community minigame thing, maybe, possibly. It just seems to be sort of ripe for stream snipage, unfortunately. I don't know how that's going to play out. I mean, it's not a problem for 99% of people, is it? But if it's to get any form of reasonable publicity, it has to be easy to stream and make content for. That's literally the, you know, that's why World of Warcraft is still such a popular game in streaming, because for the most part, it's a really good game to stream. Loads of different things that can be done, loads of different areas of expertise. Quite easy on the eye. Apart from maybe arenas, which still to this day, after playing this game for 20 years, I can't watch flipping the arena tournaments. I ain't got no clue what's going on. If you don't PvP, you ain't got Scooby. I think that's probably why the MDI is always done a little bit better, because, you know, it's timer and team kill boss. You know, at face value, it's easy to understand, you know. Flipping the arena tournaments, like, I ain't got no clue what's going on watching those. Oh, I'm out of dun-duns. Why did my total maximum go down by 2 then? How does that even work? I generally don't get it. I think I need one more dun-dun, don't I? Give me a fishing pool and I'll play with my rod.
Both, I hope.
Sarah Nova with a sub. Welcome in. With a 28. You playing Midnight? You gaming? Why can't I see any fishing pools? You know what? I bet this dude doesn't have fishing. Oh, he does. Oh. Ha! It's my graphics settings are on dog shit mode. That's why I don't see fishing pool. Funny how you can get 900 even though you barely emptied your bag. Yeah, I don't know how the scoring system works, to be honest. Not a clue, really. How are you getting so much abundance being a raid? I was running that solo then. There was just a couple of other people in there at the same time. Big server priority, I guess. Should I go blacksmithing, tailoring, or leatherworking to make money via the auction house? Just do them all. Do them all, see what works. Honestly, making gold via the auction house is going to require you to fully focus on something. And more importantly than that, not only do you need to fully focus on it, you need to prepare to be better than 90% of people. It's very, very competitive. Tailoring is probably going to be bolts, cooldown bolts right now. Leatherworking is, if you're doing want to do auction housey stuff, leatherworking is going to be either profession gear or the intermediates. I can't remember what they're called. Infused scale woven hides or something. Blacksmithing is alloys, but that is hyper competitive. But if you want to take things a little bit more easy with your crafting professions, something that's work order based, blacksmithing, leatherworking, tailoring, they're all endgame gear crafters, so you could look to start crafting some gear for people. You're working for tips, but at least it doesn't cost you anything other than leveling up the profession. Where is this done? Made about 1 mil so far in Midnight, but I had to work my ass off for most of it. It's not for the faint of heart at the moment. It should get easier once people bugger off to do the M+ and the raids. This always happens, right? This always happens. There is always a decline in the amount of people trying as soon as the season starts, because people are keeping themselves busy right now, and goal making and professions is a way to keep themselves busy. Every single expansion launch, every single season launch, to be fair, it's the same. People keep themselves busy with what's available, and then when their content of choice is out to play, they go off to play. But yeah, if you're doing anything that goes anywhere near the auction house, be prepared, or at least go into it with the understanding that you're competing against other players. And on the auction house, you're competing against pretty much every other player in the region. So if you're not going to attempt to be the best of the best, you're going to look for the easy way out. If you're going to look for shortcuts, mass crafting stuff is probably not for you. There is humongous amounts of gold to be made, but it's only made by those who work the smartest and play the hardest, it feels. You're going to need to make sure you do everything and go that extra mile to extract a profit. Are cancel scan bots a thing? No. Not in my opinion. I mean, players are probably more likely to look like bots than anything else. It's often quite amusing to me that somebody turns around and goes, "This character's online for 18 hours a day. Every time I go to cancel scan, he's there cancel scanning." And I'm like, he thinks the exact same thing about you. Genuinely. He thinks the same thing about you. This is my point. Like, anything on the region-wide auction house, anything mass crafting, it's competitive. You're competing against everybody else. You want the lazy way? It's not with mass crafting. It's not with region-wide auction house stuff. Lazy way is farming. You get out of it what you put in. Right, let's turn in all of this abundance before I forget. Why is glass so expensive? I want to mass craft my vials. Is glass expensive? I don't know. I haven't looked. I would, yes, imagine that high quality glass is quite expensive right now, because every alchemist is going to need high quality vials in order to guarantee their potions and flasks at high quality as well. Would be my semi-uneducated perspective on that one. Spider-Man pointing at each other meme. Yeah, it's literally that. It's literally that. Oh, I only got 600 for that run. Ah, scamazed. I turned in a full 1,000+ abundance in that run and still only got 600. I swear I've done less in other runs and came out with more. Alright, sure. Right, well, I think I'm done. I'm going to go get me some proper food. I've been munching my way through a chocolate bar this morning, if you haven't noticed, which is probably going to give me a sugar crash, so I need to go and eat some proper food. I will love you and leave you for today, boys. Flipping hell, how many is there? How's there so many of you in here? Oh, we got that juicy raid from Drizzling Rose, didn't we? And some of you must have stuck around. I appreciate that. Shameless promo then. Come say hi over in the Discord. Jump into the Discord. There's some free midnight profession guides in the Discord if you are looking part. Come say hi over in the Discord. There was constant discussions going on in there as well. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for the discussions. If you sat through an ad, I appreciate that. It all helps. Thank you very much. And have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. I will see you on reset day when the season starts. Woo! Woo! I should, hopefully, by the end of the day as well, also have my TSM groups set up. So if people want to hit the season with a nice, fresh, organised set of TSM groups, they won't contain operations. But at least everything will be grouped up, everything will be organised, it'll be quick and easy for you to put some basic operations on the stuff that you're crafting. That's what I'll get those listed on the Discord later tonight as well. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for stopping by. Is anybody we know, anybody within the community online? The fact that I stream at these weird times means often that's not the case. With so many of you here, I would feel it nice to send you off somewhere. But I would not know who to send you off to. There's not many people on my list right now. Any suggestions? Manthy 24/7 is online. He is always online. Like if in doubt, raid yourself. Yeah. If in doubt, raid yourself. But with the fact that we had a raid today as well, I often feel it'd be nice to share the love. Hello, Octoberly's online. With the potential of doing some leveling of alts and even goal making, potentially. Do we send you over there? Pick some random low pop streamer. You see, this is the problem. I don't know many people. I always have this problem. I don't know many people. Right. Let's send you over to Hello Octoberly. Right, boys and girls, gonna get a little raid on the go. Wish them well, wish them good luck. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.